Good afternoon, everybody. It's Steve and Paul back for your daily brief for Friday, November 19th. And would you stop playing with your green screen?
I don't have a green screen.
Well, you did there for a second. You know, I may end up having to roll back to Skype 4 because this Skype 5, I'm not sure it's ready yet. I really don't.
I'm not really sure if it's a Skype problem that we're having. Obviously, we're both running Skype on Windows 7 here. But I'm starting to wonder, a lot of these problems seem to come along after you start the recording software, so...
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. Holiday season's coming. You know?
Yeah.
Halloween's over, so now it's time to start pimping Christmas. Yuck.
Dude, I mean, here in the US, Thanksgiving hasn't even come and gone yet, and there's like Christmas trees up everywhere, and I'm like, seriously?
Yeah. No. Doesn't work.
That's not right.
No.
But anyway, everybody is sort of queuing up to start offering holiday offers, and Microsoft are no different.
Yep.
And for those of you who are gamers, whether you play on Windows Live or whether you play on your Xbox, if you go in and you spend 1,600 Microsoft points, which is about $20 worth, they're now going to give you 400 Microsoft points back. So it's not a bad deal, really.
Well, yeah.
It's about $5 back in terms of Microsoft points. But for that game that you do buy with those 1,600, you know, say for example you pick up something like Soul Calibur 4, you'll be able to unlock Darth Vader. So, there you go. Spend 400 points.
Yeah.
Getting any money back is good.
Oh yeah, obviously, but, you know, I don't
cheap
have
and cheerful, just like the two of us.
Yes. Well, cheap. I don't know about the cheerful.
I'm cheerful, you're grumpy.
Yeah, okay. In keeping...
If we were to seven dwarves, I'd be happy and you'd be grumpy.
Yes. Black Friday, the big deal on Thanksgiving Day or whatever down in the States. There's some deals coming out for Xbox 360 Kinect.
Yeah, the best one I've seen so far is coming out of Kmart, which is a 4 gig the Kinect bundle, and they'll be selling it for $299 from 6 a.m. through to 9 p.m. on Black Friday, and it also comes with a $25 coupon on top of that. So you get a little bit extra back. Now, Walmart will also be running the same offer, but as far as I do know, you know, Walmart is going to be only going to be running it for a little while.
Even though it's a competition, did you see that deal that TJ Maxx has for the iPad?
Yeah, $399 for the entry-level 16-gig iPad with Wi-Fi. I did see that today while I was browsing my news. I looked at it and I thought, you know what? $399 is still too much for a device like that with only 16 gigs of storage that you have to pay constantly for anything more sort of useful on it. I'm sorry, I can't ever see myself justifying buying an iPad at those kind of prices, even at $399. I'd get a decent, cheap netbook for that price.
Oh yeah, and you
have
do a lot more. Yeah.
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 The touch, I know touch is all the rage, but you know, touch isn't everything. You know?
Well, that was the thing. What was it that Dell Duo thing? It's like a key.
I love that.
It's got touch, but doesn't it also take pen?
I think so. Yeah. I was listening to your other show, Bradenhead Techcast, with Sean. You talked about it last night, and you know what? The two of you were a bunch of bloody crybabies, moaning about it, saying, "Oh dear God, it's going to get broke." You know what? These things are stress tested. They will. The screen flip on the Duo will last as long as the hinges on your laptop.
I'm betting
they all give out eventually. There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm betting
and you know
they
what?
don't.
If you care, just be a little bit careful, Hudson. You do realize that after you drop $599 on a product, you're supposed to be careful with it. You know?
I'm still betting they don't. Anyway, I guess another reason we'll have to celebrate this holiday season, Windows Phone 7 is headed to Verizon. Duh.
Yeah, we've been talking about this. It shouldn't really be news that Phone 7 is coming to Verizon in early 2011. I think the reason it's news again is because of a tweet Verizon posted yesterday, in which they said, as soon as Microsoft has them ready, we're excited to offer Windows Phone 7 mobile devices. Now, maybe that puts to rest a few of the fears we might have had about a cold reception on Verizon for it. Raises a few interesting questions too. It probably raises the thought that we could see it a little earlier if Microsoft has them ready. CDMA versions. There was something else in this story that came out of Information Week too that sort of caught my mind, was that a lot of the information that's currently revolving around Windows Phone 7 and CDMA devices coming to Verizon came out of a leaked flyer that was intended for Microsoft employees.
Yeah.
And, you know, the thing is that Microsoft employees, lots of them aren't getting their devices yet because of demand.
Yeah.
And they just don't have them. And also, you know, you have to take into consideration the employees that are, say, on Sprint and Verizon and would require CDMA devices unless Microsoft is going to pay for them to move to another carrier. But apparently, on the other thing, there was the note that the phones are being offered at the special offer price of $199. Now, I thought Microsoft employees were getting these things for free. That has been the line all along, which kind of makes me raise some eyebrows about either A, the authenticity of the flyer, or, as you said, perhaps Microsoft are getting the employees to pay for them for tax reasons, but then giving, you know, for corporate accounting reasons, and then giving them the money back by rebate or something.
That makes sense to me.
That seems very odd to me.
No, okay, from a business point of view, because, you know, giving away, what, 89,000, 90,000 handsets and trying to write them off, the government might be going, I don't know about that. Whereas if, you know, the employees pay for it, but as part of their package, it's reimbursed to them on their, like, you know, next paycheck or whatever.
Their next paycheck or something. Yeah. That is possible. But you know what? We'll have to wait and see. Other developments have been happening on Windows Phone 7 too since yesterday. Rumors have broken everywhere that there's a Windows Phone 7 USB mass storage mode. Now, this basically means that you can plug your Windows Phone 7 in on the computer that you sync it with, and you could use it like a portable hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
Except, don't do it, people.
Don't.
Because warnings have come out from Paul Thurrott of the WindowsPhoneSecrets.com after he spoke with Joe Belfiore, who is he the product manager for Windows? Something like that, anyway. And he specifically says that, you know what, don't do it. It may sound interesting to do this, but problems will arise because of how it's set up, so that Microsoft reads the metadata to keep track of everything. And if you go adding stuff, the phone may not be able to keep track of it.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if this was supposed to have been done, Microsoft would be saying, yes, you can do it, or they would have allowed it as a feature. But, you know, the whole issue about expandable storage and everything already, don't do it. You risk screwing things up.
The quote from Belfiore that Paul Thurrott got goes, Windows Phone 7, Windows Phone is not a mass storage device. It's a Zune device. The data on the phone must be consistent and the system needs to be able to identify items in storage. We don't want the user to have to do the stuff manually. Blah, blah, blah. But here, what caught me is it's a Zune device. Now, this ties in with something...
I think he's referring more to how it stores stuff locally rather than he's referring to anything else in that respect.
Yeah, but
it's got more to do with how it maps the data.
I saw a post yesterday, and this is to kick in with the whole revival of the Kin, and someone was basically pointing out the fact that the Kin really is a Zune phone.
Yes, and?
What they're
I'm waiting for your point.
Well, no, I'm just thinking that you know, this idea that we've always said, you know, the Zune is a phone or could be a phone, and basically they seem to be dancing all around this as Zune being the platform.
Well, it's not that Zune is the platform. I think in this sense he's referring more to the fact that it's a Zune phone because it's part of, you know, you use the Zune software to put your music on it, and the way it's put on and the way it's stored, it's all part of that Zune Windows Phone 7 experience. It's also going to be more evident when we do actually see, you know, the iPod Touch version of or the next actual Zune.
Yeah.
Which will run on Windows Phone 7. So that I think is more where he was meaning. Of course, it's incredibly hard for us. We're just dissecting everything from a single, you know, 4 or 5 line quote and speculating. But I really do think that that's more about it. Now, good news for Microsoft.
Yes.
In the search rankings of the world.
Yeah. The Bing market share grows in October on strong search traffic.
Yeah, well, basically, what it boils down to is in October, Bing went up 0.3% of a percent. Its search share went up 0.3%. Now, this wasn't at the expense of Google. Google actually went up 0.2%, but Yahoo did drop, Ask dropped, and AOL dropped. Now, the funny thing is here is the gain. Well, it's not gains that Microsoft has and the gains that Google have make up the percentage drops of the other three completely. Yeah. So Microsoft and Google rising, Yahoo, Ask, and AOL dropping. Sorry, I have to ask. When did AOL have a search entry?
I thought they used Yahoo. Oh no,
well, their list
A9.
Is that what it is?
I think A9.
This will tell you. This will tell you how obscure they have become. We keep track of the search engine scores every month, and we're both confused as to what AOL's search entry actually is.
I think AOL. It was the A9 search was theirs. I could be wrong, but I think it was. But it got shuttered a while ago, from what I understand. So, and they went. I
don't know.
They went to using.
Either way, they've dropped.
Yeah.
Microsoft has gained at their expense. Microsoft also gained at the expense of Ask and Yahoo, and Google has gained as well. This brings Microsoft up to 11.5% of the market. Now, most people would sit back and say, only 11.5%? But you must remember, Bing has been gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining, and this is growing. And 11.5% of the search market is big.
Yeah.
If you had 1% of the search market, you'd be a very rich person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, so, that's,
for today.
That's it for today, folks.
Until tomorrow's I was going to say tomorrow's Brain Dead Techcast. No, tomorrow's WinExtra on Windows podcast, which will happen. Now, tomorrow we're having a third guest on the weekend podcast. We're having Holden Page on, who is a new writer that has started putting fingers to keyboard over at WinExtra. And we are starting to line up as well some interesting new guests for the coming weeks. So, until you can, I don't know, find us at WinExtra or youtube.com/WinExtra, where you can subscribe to us and give us a thumb up. And we'll be back Monday. Are we back on Monday?
Yep, we're back.
We're back.
So until then, folks, this is Steve. That's Paul. This has been Daily Brief for November 19th.